with three guys on your property?
They come to kill me, five guys. Pete Gotti knew about it, Junior. They didn't make a move to come with me. I had the underground bell system, and I drove to the house. I shot it out with both of them. I believe I killed 2 or 3 of them.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI, open up! Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about running 10 miles at 10 years old and 5 miles at 5 years old. Don't forget that one. Let me give a shout out to a bunch of people real quick. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Especially to all the people that have been leaving comments. I really appreciate it. You guys have been so supportive. Thank you. Let's get to the comments. What's going on, William? How are you? LB Green, how are you? Pink Panther, what's going on? Your cat ran away. What the hell? Your cat ran away? Where the hell did it run to, man? Your cat ran away. So what's going on with everyone out there? There's a lot going on. Dustin, how are you? Staxx in chat. I'm at work. Won't be able to pay attention to the chat. Just wanted to say hello. I'll be listening though. Thank you. I appreciate it, Dustin. I got a funny one for you guys today. Pain like Bane. How are you? So, this guy says that he ran 5 miles at 5 years old. So we're going to go over the interview where he said that. I want to give a shout out to Sonny. He's got doctor's appointments today. Shout out to Sonny. Keep Sonny in your prayers. He's fighting the illness that he's battling right now. And just keep Sonny in your prayers. Shout out to Shane Coyle. He was on Angel Gotti's last night. He gave me a shout out. Shout out to him. I got an interview done with him yesterday. It will be out soon. I'm working on it now. And it's really funny. You guys are going to love this. It's a lot different from a lot of interviews. But I got a clip to show you guys. Check this out. It's got to load. Hold on one second. It's hilarious. And he helps getting less than savory people off the streets who mess with children. So you always got to support things like that. Check this out.
Hey, Staxx, what's going on? It's your boy Shane Coyle from the Prank Call Mafia and Child Safety Soldiers. I wanted to just say on behalf of myself and Jennifer Adelia, to everybody out there, it's Shane Coyle. You're chatting with Staxx.
And hello, hi, sweetheart. How are you? It's Jennifer Adelia. You're definitely chatting with Staxx.
Hi, dear. It's Abigail Cranston, 74-year-old internet hoe, and you're chatting with Staxx, my boyfriend.
It's a really entertaining show. He tells some pretty intricate stories. You're going to have some laughs. It is hilarious. But anyway, I want to touch on a subject real quick. Remember we talked about Chief Suckums stealing somebody's money and not doing an interview. Whatever happened with that? I'll come on your show. Trust me. So I hear that he's taking people's monies and not giving books out either. But let's take a look at this guy complaining that Chief Suckums didn't come on his show.
Hello everyone. Just an update on my interview with Gene Borello.
Why you would pay one of these rats is beyond me, because now they all think that they're celebrities. It's pretty crazy. They are not celebrities. You're a rat. You'll always be known as a rat. That's what you did to get anywhere you are. So, I mean, for you to think you're some type of celebrity is just wild.
Gene and I agreed a price for the interview earlier this week. And
Profits for
we agreed to
life.
sit
What's
down and
up?
do the interview
Maureen?
on Friday morning. Friday morning Gene's time, Friday afternoon mine time. Gene didn't show up. So
Oh, what? You mean he doesn't stick to his word? Come on. I mean, look at this dude. Why Suckums didn't think he was soft? Bad business. Suckums thought he was soft. He could take advantage of this guy. That's what it was.
I was waiting there for half an hour. I didn't hear anything from Gene. And then a few hours later, he sent me a voicemail saying no apology or anything like that. Like if it was
No apology. No, of course not. You're not going to get an apology from this guy. You really think you're going to get an apology from this guy?
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
He doesn't even say sorry to her. You know what he does?
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You ruined it.
That's his apology.
me and I missed an appointment, I would be like very apologetic and pretty devastated, to be honest. But no.
He was devastated that a mafia rat that he paid didn't go on his show. Oh, poor thing.
Nothing, just I had a new truck arrive, man. I'll send you a picture.
I had a new truck arrive. I'll send you a picture. I got it with your money.
Right. And so I messaged back, okay, what about the interview? So he said, oh yeah, we'll do it now. Right, so I send him a link to Riverside, which is the platform I'm using at the moment, the software for the recording, you know, proper recording software. So I send it to him. No, I'm not using that. No, there's a problem. I want to use Zoom.
All right, so his integrity, right? I think Barillo's integrity is in question here because he has none. He has no integrity. He has no word. He has no. Do you really think that someone who put all these people in prison and is out bragging about violent crimes is going to keep his word?
Right, okay. So I set up a Zoom Pro account. So I wasn't going to use the basic because it was only 45 minutes. You can have 45 minutes on a Zoom call before it ends and you've got to reconnect. So I signed up to the Pro, which gives you unlimited time to interview someone. Yeah.
So
anyway,
there goes more money down the drain because of Suckums.
So then we agree another time. Did Gene turn up? No. So again, I'm waiting for half an hour. And then I message him, I'm saying, you know, what's happening? This is like 3 times. And he messages back on a voice record. Oh, you're really annoying me.
You're really annoying me. You gave me money. You're really annoying me.
Oh, you know, I'm doing you a favor.
Why would you even want to interview this rat? He wasn't involved in the life like he says he was. He's getting credibility from other mafia rats. He is not the gangster you all think he is. This is the gangster that Gino Barillo is.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And whose card is on file here?
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged.
I'm suing you. I'm taking you to court.
I'm fixing it.
He's fixing you. Come on, he's fixing you. What's the problem? He's fixing you.
Just like, okay. So I messaged him back saying, would you call, if you gave someone money and they gave you nothing in return, would you call that doing someone a favour? Literally had nothing in return. So
you have nothing even with the interview. You would have nothing even if you did an interview with this loser.
I'm scared every single one of them. No problem. Go. Watch.
Get my doll. Get my doll.
I'm going to show you families right now.
Big gangster pulls a knife out with the girl, says he's going to stab her friends. Big tough guy.
I'm scared every single one of them. No problem. Go. Watch.
Get my doll. Get my doll.
I'm going to show you families right now.
Get my doll.
I'm going to play easy, right? I'm going to show you families.
He's going to show you how much of a tough guy he is.
I had nothing back from him. He did say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it today, man. That might be fourth time lucky, but my guess is it won't be. It's a real shame because when we...
No, it's not. It's not a real shame. You wouldn't get nothing out of this guy anyway. Like, really, I don't understand why you would waste your money with this guy. For anyone to give this guy money for an interview, which I know they do, like Blockhead over there probably pays them. Why would you even want to affix yourself with these people? Why? Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. Salvatore, what's going on? Why would you want to interview a rat, though? What? How to rat? He ain't even no one. He certainly was not in the mafia or the LCN ever. He's just cornball. 100% right, Pink Panther.
agreed to do the interview, I'm
full blast wannabe. And now he is a federal informant, woman beater, and not a tough guy. He never was. He's a real hands-on guy when it comes to the Vaseline. But I've never seen him fight a guy, ever.
I watched a lot of his content anyway, and I watched some more of his videos, read his book, and I wanted to ask questions that and cover topics that I hadn't heard.
Oh, you read his shitty book?
Excuse me, anybody else ask. So yeah, so we are where we are. A lot of wasted time for me, a lot of wasted effort, and probably wasted money. It was funny because dealing with him, I have 2 preschool children.
Well, listen to what he says.
It's actually not that different than dealing with him. It's really hard work. Funny enough, if any of you guys watched the interview I did with Jeff, he questions Gene's maturity, and I totally see why now.
This guy paid Blockhead too. Like, what the fuck? This guy's paying these dummies for interviews. Wow. It's pretty wild.
And also, people have warned me about his integrity.
Does his integrity not speak volumes? Like, does the integrity of any of these guys speak volumes? I mean, it should. You should know off the bat. Like, these guys are not trustworthy individuals. 100% they are not. They are they're lowlifes. Like, these are the types of people you need to stay away from. These are the people your family warned you about when you're a kid.
So I kind of, maybe I was a bit of a mug for parting with my money. But I guess we'll see. What about you guys? What do you think? Do you think, you saw this coming?
100% we seen this coming. We all saw it coming.
Stupid to kind of expect anything in return from this guy.
Yes, you're stupid to expect anything from anyone in this genre. Any of them. Why would you pay your money for them? It's mind-blowing to me. It's because these people believe them. And that's why I'm here to show you who they really are.
Do you think it's he apparently he's got a tattoo that says Omerta.
He has a tattoo that says Omerta. That means you keep your mouth shut, right? Not for Gino. That means you talk more, huh, Gino?
Excuse me.
To the door.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You ruined it.
Ruined it. I'm gonna fix it. It only costs $500.
So on him. So do you think he's changed his tune now and he's suddenly, being quiet, and now he's adhering to Omerta after all these years?
He's adhering to Omerta, considering your interview. Yeah, 100%. The only place he's using Omerta is after you gave him the money, and now he'll keep his mouth shut.
Or do you think maybe it's just an innocent mistake, and maybe he will for the fourth time lucky?
It's an innocent mistake that he took your money and didn't do in the interview. Yeah, real innocent mistake.
Come on the channel. Your guess is as good as mine, but it is disappointing. I thought I'm not monetized. Actually, I think I'm at 49 subscribers as of today.
And you're gonna stay like that. You keep fucking with these people. Let's get on to the other goofballs of the mafia.
So I grew up in Woodhaven, Queens, Jamaica Avenue. It was on the border of East New York, Brooklyn. They nicknamed my...
Go subscribe to Soft White Underbelly if you guys want to. Let's hear the bullshit tales.
Neighborhood Death Haven because of all the violence, murders, people ODing, drugs. So it was a known neighborhood. We had an area called the Dome. It was up in the park. It was something you would see out of kind of the movies. I mean,
no, it wasn't. I've been to the Dome, dummy.
To us, it was normal because we're young kids growing up in that area. But as I'm growing up and I'm going in that area, you can basically go up to the Dome and it was...
Watch, it was a one-stop shop. You get weapons and all that. Well, I've been to the Dome. It didn't seem too dangerous to me. There's some stairs you walk up, you go up. There's a thing where people perform at, like a stage. That's what he's talking about. It's a park. Pink Panther says it's not even a tough neighborhood either.
It was like a 5 and dime store of drugs.
Hey, what's going on, Child Safety Soldiers? Make sure you guys go check out Child Safety Soldiers on, I think he has a YouTube too, but make sure you check him out on Facebook. He catches a lot of these guys who are out there preying on children. We need people like him in the world. 100%. Shout out to Shane. Going down. Great interview last night. Both yours and Angel's show. Shout out to Angel Gotti. She had Shane on last night. Go check it out. Coming at it, natural perspective, knowing how many interviews Gene does, saying the same shit, and what this guy really expect from the 100th interview of Gene. His channel to blow up. Dumb as hell. Hey, I agree with you, man.
Weapons and anything that you wanted to, buy, they had it up there. So, locally to Jamaica Avenue was Kennedy Airport. So that was used as a hub for all of us to hijack trucks, give me up trucks.
Yeah, how come you never told your hijacking truck stories? You on YouTube right now as well? Yeah, child safety soldiers. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. Shout out to Sonny. Listen to me, Jeffy. You ain't me, and you're never gonna be me. Capiche? Watch this. This is hilarious. Now he's talking about we used to hijack trucks. Yeah, I don't think he used to hijack trucks. He never talked about it before. Now all of a sudden he hijacked trucks. Huh? John A. Light, Rambo 3, starring John Aletto. Listen, Jiffy, you ain't me, and you're never gonna be me. Capiche?
Chosen. And those of you that are not with me on it, well, that makes me sad. And it'll be dealt with in time.
This is the course that I have chosen. And those of you that aren't with me on it, well, that makes me sad. But that's going to be dealt with in time.
This is the course I've chosen.
This is the course that I have chosen.
And those of you that are not with me on it,
and those of you that aren't with me on it,
well, that makes me sad.
Well, that makes me sad.
And it'll be dealt with in time.
But that's going to be dealt with in time.
Oh! You ain't me, Jeffy, and you never will be. Capiche? Let me explain. Oh, man. What about this one?
Pain for them because no man should ever go to prison, on the words of another man.
Oh, what's that? That's a letter to the judge trying to put somebody in prison. I mean, given they're already a mafia rat that he's trying to put in prison, but he did talk about John A. Light, Gene Barillo, John Rubio. So he tried to put 3 people in prison right in this letter. It's pretty wild, but don't worry. We'll get back to that another time. Right now, we're gonna focus
swag
on.
would end up in our neighborhood.
We're gonna focus on Rambum right here.
You know, sometimes sold in bulk, and then other times sold to individuals who will take it up into the dome, and we, you know, buy it up there or sell it up there. And eventually, as I got older, it become me selling it up there and putting guys up there and different locations around the neighborhood selling drugs for me. But to start off as a kid, I was a young boy that came from a family that just came from Albania. My father was born over in Albania, and it was...
What? You saw Flippy on Lee Cole's show? That's crazy. I don't deal with none of them people. None of them. None of them. Like, and I won't. Stay away from everybody. I do my own thing, and that's it.
It was a rough country, known for being at war since the Ottoman days. It was no money. It was a third world country.
He's acting like he was involved with the war and shit. He wasn't even living there. Wasn't he born in the U.S.? What the fuck is he talking about?
Suppressed communism. So when I came into, when I was born and my father came into the United States.
When I was born and I came into the United States, but you were born in the United States. So what are you talking about?
Married my mom. People really didn't know what Albania was. It wasn't like saying you're Italian or Greek or, another nationality that people really knew.
Yeah, because you hid it, Johnny. You hid that you were Albanian. You wanted to be Italian so bad that you hid that you were Albanian.
Because the country was so closed down or locked down, you didn't have that many Albanians. So I grew up where my father believed in violence as a protection, not as a use to hurt people. He wanted to make sure that I could handle myself and not get bullied in the streets. Where he grew up in Rivington and Delancey, down in Manhattan, lower.
Wait, didn't he just say that his father came from Albania? From a war-torn country? And then he came to the U.S. with him? And then he met his mother, married her? So if that's the case, How did your father grow up in Delancey? Just doesn't make sense.
Was a tough neighborhood. That's the neighborhood where Vito Genovese was born and raised, and guys like that, where my father became friends with them, but on the outskirts, not a gangster. He wasn't out there killing. He was a gambler. He was a street guy. He played dice on the street and stickball and box.
But his dad raised him to be a killing machine, a mafia killing machine. Dustin says, just got one thing to say before I go back to work. Lee Cole is known for flip-flopping, and it's not really surprising considering his history. Hey, it is what it is. I have no dealings with any of those people, so I really don't care what any of them do. Hey, Shane Coyle, what's going on, man?
He knew all the gangsters, and he got very friendly with guys like Lucky Luciano's cousin, Blackie, Charlie Luciano.
And that's a lie, too, because Blackie died before this guy was even born. Did you know that? Make sure you guys go subscribe to Child Safety Soldiers on YouTube with Shane Coyle. He's really protecting the community, helping kids, and we need people like that around. So go subscribe to Child Safety Soldiers with Shane Coyle.
Same name, and I became one of his partners over the years. So these guys like Al Greco, tough gangsters, killers, Al Greco was the norm of people that I started seeing as a young boy, 3 and 4 and 5 years old. I was on their laps.
3, 4, and 5 years old. He was associating with gangsters already. Yeah, no problem, man. Make sure you subscribe on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll get the link. If anyone has the link, you can drop the link.
In a Bronx Den card game that my uncle was partners with Luciano, and Al Greco frequented. It was basically the strong arm for them at that time. Guys like Handsome Jack, and these are some of the nicknames and guys that were my father's friends and partners in business and my uncles. So when I'm raised around them, I got a good look at all
right, so how is he raised around Blackie when Blackie died before he was even born? Does that even make sense? Oh, yeah, he's a fucking liar. That's right. Now it makes sense.
Real serious street guys that without them saying much, you start understanding they're very powerful. You start understanding their control in the city, not just that Bronx card game. And so as a kid, it was very natural for me to be and see violence, whether it was in my streets, whether it was around my father's friends, whether it was in a boxing gym, or whether it was in the basement. My father had us in the basement, me at 3, my brother at 4, and he'd put gloves on us and tell us to fight.
Listen close. Listen close, because he turned into a boxing phenom at 3 years old. Here, I dropped the link. Go subscribe to Shane's YouTube channel.
You know, when you look back, people would say, well, your father, you know, they look at him in a hard way. I don't. I look at him in a loving way, because what he taught me was to survive the streets that I ended up living in. You know, people say, well, your father was nuts for what he taught you. He didn't teach you schooling. My father taught me what he understood was the best way to survive. He did it out of love. He didn't do it out of trying to develop me to be into a gangster. He tried to develop me to be a pro ball player. And at the same time, he developed me into a killing machine without realizing what he was doing.
All right, this is the killing machine that his dad developed him into. Listen close.
It's all a joke.
Look at that killing machine. He punches like a girl.
Do another joke, you. Do another one to make me laugh.
Look at that form, huh, Shane? Shane, look at that form.
Tell a joke. Do another joke.
Yo, look at those combos. Whoa.
To make me laugh.
Think you shit yourself. Think you shit yourself there, Johnny boy.
I got caught with a drug. I never got caught with a bullet. I never got caught with marijuana, a joint. Cooperator, and I was a rat.
He was a cooperator and he was a rat. He said it best.
So I think the aggression started with me just as a simple thing, riding a tricycle at 3 years old. And
all right, so listen, he talks about how he turned into a murder machine, but then he's talking about how he couldn't even ride a tricycle and just crash it. Like he had no coordination, but he was so skilled at murdering.
by the time I'm 4, I wasn't very coordinated, I guess, at those ages. I was very rough and tumble, and my brother was he was actually very graceful. So I would try to stay up with my older brother, which was very difficult because he was naturally graceful in sports and boxing, and I was very sloppy. And if somebody asked me to do something.
He's talking about Jimmy Cheeks. He was a ballerina. He was very graceful. He would dance around and be very graceful.
Go around.
This guy's got cheek implants. Wait until you guys see when I cover Jimmy Cheeks. You're going to be like, holy shit.
Curve with my bike. I'd just go through it. I'd go through the bushes. I'd fall. And people would cringe, my aunts, my grandmother, and they would say, Johnny, stop riding that bicycle. And instead, I'd just keep getting up and getting on the bike, and I'd be all bruised up. I'd be bleeding everywhere. And my mother would plead with me, just don't ride a bike. You don't have to do what Jimmy does, your brother. Just do your own thing. So I was used to that blood, even riding a bicycle. I was used to the pain, and I started embracing it. The more that people said how tough I was, the more I played up to that. Even as a child, the more my father put me in the ring with my brother and he beat me up, the more I wanted to go in the ring and get beat up and show how tough I was. It wasn't necessarily about winning. It was about showing that I could take it. And as the years went on, I just got more aggressive. And I started running around the streets, and my friends were very, very aggressive guys. I come from a neighborhood where guys were getting locked up at 11, 12 years old, and all my friends were killers, and they were shooting guys, stabbing guys. They were in reform schools.
But he wasn't, right? He's talking about Gotti Jr. Gotti Jr. went to reform school, like a military school. He got into a little altercation at a bar or some shit, and his father made him come to the club. But he's making it like it was him, and he was Gotti's street boss. It's pretty wild.
Juvie, Spofford, drug rehabs at young ages. My friends were on a David Susskind show at 12 years old for violence and drugs. I wasn't really to their level at that time. So it was surprising for people to see, as I kept aging, that I was getting more and more violent, and I started slowly passing my friends as far as becoming that person that people really didn't think I was. But what they didn't see was the training that went behind it. At 3 years old.
What they didn't see is any of it, because he's making all this shit up and they didn't see any of it. So now he goes around and pays people so that they can vouch for him and his toughness. All you got to do is look at that video of him boxing, and you could tell he is not a fighter at all. And he shit himself while he was boxing.
Tell a joke.
Wow, I want to be on the other end of that.
Do another joke.
Hey, Johnny boy, whenever you're ready, there's some people up in the Bronx that want to box you, and they could give the proceeds to the kids. They don't mind. So if you're ever down, You can donate the money to the kids. Like you always say, you're there to help the kids, right? So why don't you come up to the Bronx and can handle that, John? Bring your buddy Suckums with you.
Another one to make me laugh. Tell a joke. Do another joke, you. Do another one to make me laugh.
I never got caught with a drug. I never got caught with a bullet. I never got caught with marijuana, a joint. Cooperator, I was a rat. My father would have me down the basement doing 5 push-ups. At 5 years old, I was down the basement doing 25 and 30 push-ups a set.
5 years old, he was down in the basement doing 25 push-ups. Now, who believes that shit? Go find a 5-year-old and tell him to do 25 push-ups. He wouldn't be able to do 1, okay? I hope I never piss off a liar. Him being an ex-street boss and all. He's a killer since 3 years old. I got some 14-year-olds in North Philly that will have him shit his pants, I'm sure. Trust me, I'm sure. This guy is no all-around killer and mafia hitman. The fuck? And then he's talking about how the Gambino family didn't retaliate for any of the murders that happened, like Bobby Borriello, rest in peace to him, and a couple other people that got killed. Well, you were the hitman for the Gambino family. How come you didn't retaliate, Mr. Killer? What happened?
At 5 years old, I was running a couple of miles. I'd go push it.
He said at 5 years old, he was running a couple miles.
For people to see, as I kept aging, that I was getting more and more violent, and I started slowly passing my friends as far as becoming that person that people really didn't think I was. But what they didn't see
is any of this, because it's all a lie.
was the training that went behind it. At 3 years old, my father would have me down the basement doing 5 push-ups. At 5 years old, I was down the basement doing 25 and 30 push-ups a set. At 5 years old, I was running a couple of miles. I'd go to the track with my father, and I'd have to follow him while he was running because he was a boxer. And I started running by 10 years old. I'm running 10 miles myself.
10 miles at 10 years old. Who believes this shit, man? Is there anyone out there that believes this? Raise your hand in the chat if you believe this, please. So at 3 years old, he was doing 5 push-ups. At oh man, who the
person that people really didn't think I was. But what they didn't see
is any of this shit, because it's all a lie.
Was the training that went behind it. At 3 years old, my father would have me down the basement doing 5 push-ups. At 5 years old, I was down the basement doing 25 and 30 push-ups a set.
A set, and I did 100 sets.
At 5 years old, I was running a couple of miles. I'd go to the track with my father, and I'd have to follow him while he was running.
And what happened when you got tired? He dragged you behind him?
Because he was a boxer. And I started running by 10 years old. I'm running 10 miles myself. And I was in extremely good shape. So I was sitting in a boxing ring, Lost Battalion Hall, with some famous fighters later on. It was Jerry Cooney and different guys like that. David Sears, who fought Michael Spinks in the old days. And
looks like none of the skills wore off on you there, Chief. You punch like a girl.
And these guys were top-ranked, up-and-coming pro fighters that I wanted to be just like them.
Yeah, in your mind, but physically you weren't. You were nowhere near them.
I wanted to be tough like them. I wanted to be an Al Greco as a gangster. So everybody that I surrounded myself with were tough guys one way or another, and street guys in my eyes. And you have my baseball coach, who was Fat Andy Ruggiano's son. So Fat Andy Ruggiano was...
Yeah, the drug addict, right? The the cocaine addict was his baseball coach. Yeah. He really a guy to look up to. He turned out to be a rat too. So it looked like Ruggiano was breeding rats. Remember, these are words of Ruggiano, not mine. He said rats are born. They're not made. They're born from birth. So his own son turned out to be a rat. So that was your baseball coach? Look, I found out. Now we know where you got the ratting from your baseball coach, huh?
A captain, the boss of our neighborhood, that was part of Murder Inc. And look,
do you see how he explains someone else's background so it kind of correlates with him? He always does that. Oh, yeah, it was my baseball coach's father. He was a part of Murder Inc., Murder Incorporated, the hit team, and this and that. Had nothing to do with you.
Lucky Luciano and Albert Anastasia was his guy. So Albert Anastasia straightened out Fat Andy Ruggiano, made him a made guy in 1954, I believe. This is my grandfather figure. This is my baseball coach's father. And
his baseball coach's father. So what does that have to do with him? Nothing. The baseball coach turned out to be a loser too.
This is a guy that starts really opening my eyes to the next level of becoming a killer.
A killer, a mafia killer. How does all this toughness help the kids? It doesn't. It doesn't. He's like, don't listen to those other guys. They're not tough like I was tough. And he said the other day, people only talk shit on the internet because they know I won't hunt them down. You wouldn't hunt no one down if you were in the Gambino family. How about that? You're a complete fraudster. I know about you smuggling sperm out of prison, too. We're going to talk about that, too, Johnny boy. Does anybody know that John got caught smuggling sperm out of prison? Wrap your head around that one. Sperm out of prison. Yeah.
So by, I guess, about 12 years old, I'm playing baseball and I'm using that bat to hit a ball. But then I start using that bat as favors to different gangsters, saying, hey, can you go pick up money for me here or there? And it's a slow transition.
He said on another interview, yes, smuggled sperm, and he got caught. He was having people jack off in cups, and he was smuggling the sperm out of prisons. You can't make this shit up. Like, there's paperwork on it. Oh, man.
Before you realize you're going to use that bat and put it over someone's head.
So he said on another interview that he never used bats and weapons and things until after, like, later on, not in his teenage years or none of that. Now he's saying, hey, picked up a bat at 12, started using it on people.
Yeah, this is my baseball coach's father, and this is a guy that starts really opening my eyes to the next level of becoming a killer. So by...
I don't know. I don't know the reason. They were paying him. I don't know. He was smuggling sperm out of prison. I'm gonna get down to the whole story. We're gonna put together a whole story for you. We're gonna get all the paperwork. We're gonna go over it. But yes, he was arrested for smuggling sperm out of male prison.
I guess about 12 years old, I'm playing baseball and I'm using that bat to hit a ball. But then I start using that bat as favors to different gangsters, saying, hey, can you go pick up money for me here or there? And it's a slow transition before you realize you're going to use that bat and put it over someone's head when they don't pay. So I believe I was 13, I was working in Dick's Deli. And
that's what he was doing, okay? He was working at Dick's Deli. That's what he was doing. He wasn't out there being a gangster. He wasn't out there doing shit. Yes, I did make a sandwich. Yes, I did. The truth about John A. Light. Ain't that right, Johnny boy? Oh, is this you at 3 getting ready to do some push-ups? Getting ready to run your 5 miles at 5 years old?
Louis Gaddy was a Lucchese guy, bookmaker, great guy, sharp dresser, another good role model as a gangster for me because he was successful. You know, in the street world, there's a lot of bums, but the guys I happen to be around are
just the guys you happen to be around. Hey, John, you happen to be a bum. You turned out to be a mafia rat. You ratted on people. Now you want to walk around like you're this noble guy. Like you're that guy. Well, guess what? That fly, see the fly underneath me sitting on your name? I think the fly begs to differ. The cat, too. The cat looking at you, he knows you're a rat, too.
all successful, big money guys, tough guys, and sharp guys with, you know, driving beautiful cars. Back in those days when Lincoln and Caddy convertibles.
Hey, James, what's up,
and
man?
I started looking every time I turned around. The next kid's looking at that baseball player, that actor, and I'm looking at that next gangster.
He's looking at that next gangster, you know. This guy's mind is burnt. It really is. Sonny's not here today, James. Sitting in on this one alone. Sonny's got a doctor's appointment. Keep Sonny in your prayers. Thank God it's Friday.
And that next gangster is always opening my eyes to a future in the street.
To a future in ratting and telling. I got a big announcement coming up very soon. Probably this weekend.
Not a petty street guy, but a guy that understood, hey, you can get out of this hood, but you have to be intelligent.
You have to be intelligent with this baseball bat. Oh, your other buddies like this guy? These are your fucking cohorts, right? The guy that steals jewelry from Ric Flair and wears it around town and gets told on by his own girlfriend. You mean guys like that, right? That are in your team?
You can be a killer or a tough guy, but you have to be intelligent. Any dummy can go put a bat across somebody's head, but you got to know when to do it. You got to know how to get away with it, and you have to have the balls to be able to do it alone, not with 10 guys and 5 guys.
5 guys, not like 5 guys, burgers and fries, you know, like the underground bell system, right?
Guys, they knew about it, Junior. They didn't make a move.
You shot 2 or 3 guys on your property?
They come to kill me, 5 guys. Pete Gotti knew about it, Junior. They didn't make a move to come with me. I had the underground bell system, and I drove to the house. I shot it out with a couple of them. I believe I killed 2 or 3 of them.
He believes he killed 2 or 3 of them. His friends disposed of the bodies, but he doesn't know if he killed 2, 3. He doesn't know. He doesn't quite know.
With 3 and 4 and 5 guys, that was a coward's move. But if you can go by yourself and do things, you can be very successful in this life. If you have one good friend, you can basically control the neighborhood. But you need to be very violent.
You just need one. Slick. You just need one good friend that you could trust, right? Or was it this friend? It was one of them, right? Oh, wait, no, it was probably this friend. You know what this guy does now? He pays people to vouch for his toughness now. That's what he does. No bullshit. He paid Sammy the Bull to talk about how tough he was in the street, how, like, to give him credibility. Like, this guy's got any type of credibility. None. This guy's a disgrace to the human race. We all know that. And don't worry, Sammy, even after you're dead, I'm still going to go at you. I'm going to make sure your legacy is tarnished forever. You did that to you, not me. But I'll be here to keep it going.
You have to be very loyal to the guys that you're working for and your bosses. And those days it became Fat Andy Ruggiano.
You never worked for Fat Andy Ruggiano, though, John. What are you talking about?
And his children were my mentors, I guess, in the next level of the mob. So the problem with anything is...
Hey, Robert Mack, what's up, man? How are you? Call me later, man. Robert.
When you get used to blood, when you get used to pain, when you get used to a simple thing of putting a bat across someone's head, and there is no feeling about it, because I'm used to being hurt. I'm used to bleeding. I'm used to having broken bones. I'm used to having a broken arm and taking my cast off and playing baseball because I was trained for this, to ignore the pain. So when I'm hitting somebody...
He was trained for this ever since a little kid, 5 years old, doing 100 push-ups in a clip. This is a video of him working out. That was fun, girls.
I don't think I'm really understanding at that age. They're not used to this. They didn't sign up for this like I was brought up as a kid to become a killer.
To become a kid. So your dad wasn't in the mafia, but he raised you to be a mafia killer? Wow.
They were just regular people that went in a little over their head. They weren't training for this. They didn't expect to get a bat across their head because they're degenerate gamblers, or they're somebody that doesn't pay, or they're a con artist. They always think they're not going to be the victim. And I was trained to make the next guy the victim.
He's trained to make the next guy the victim that doesn't pay. He's going to make them pay.
So when most people are talking, they really aren't going to take it to that level. You'll hear a guy say, well, I'll put a bat across his head. It sounds good in front of a group of people, but
how many people do you think this guy really batted in his life? He says over 100. I don't believe it. Gotta go for a walk. Thanks for the entertainment, Staxx. Have a good, safe weekend. Definitely. He is a real comic book character, 100%. Mangled arm is still hitting Sammy Sosa. The man's a legend. Yeah, he pulled his cast off and still rocking him out of the park.
they're not really going to do it. And as a young guy, I happened to be around guys like Al Greco. When he said he's going to put a bat across your head, he was doing it.
Yeah, so now John will take his stories and make them his own, because he can do that.
90% of these guys aren't about that, really. People don't understand that. They think, but you got a handful of these guys like Roy DeMeo's.
Hey, Paul, what's up? So why is he saying on another interview that Roy DeMeo wasn't the real killer? He wasn't. Roy DeMeo wasn't the real killer. I don't care about Roy DeMeo and Tommy Patera. Yeah, but those are guys that never cooperated. And they were real mob killers. You were not even in the Gambino family, John.
Of the gangster world, or Fat Andy, with Murder Inc. And
here we go.
And Albert Anastasia. These guys were real gangsters. These are real killers. These guys are guys that were very quiet, didn't say much.
You know what else they were that you weren't? Italian. They were Italian, John. You're not even Italian. You're not in the Gambino family. You're not Italian. You're not in the ends, buddy.
But their reaction and their action was violence. So as I started adapting to all my teachers, because that's really what they are, they're professors of a world that, especially back in the day, was very low key and quiet, except for the violence.
He does that quite a bit. He name drops all the time. Oh yeah, Albert Anastasia, Lucky Luciano, and he just like goes on and on. It's called deflection.
They taught me in those days to be very aggressive with your violence, and sometimes they taught me to do it publicly. So when I hurt somebody,
Gigi says, "What's your dose, buddy? I ain't on no damn dose. 0."
A lot of times I did it purposely where crowds would see and they'd understand. This face, remember it.
He did it purposely in front of the police so that they would remember who he was, but he would never get in trouble. He would just beat the shit out of people with a bat in front of everybody and never get caught.
That's my wallet. This is the way I'm going to make money. This is the way I'm going to control this neighborhood. This is the way I'm going to control the drug trade and any other thing I wanted to control. So when somebody did something or disrespected me, my organization, my guys, I was very violent.
The organization I wasn't a part of. Listen, the guys that you were around were guys like this. The Lomans of the world. I got something exclusive on the way for you guys too that has never been really pointed out, and you guys are going to be pretty shocked. I might do that tonight because it's something that needs to be out there.
Be swift about it. I walk into a nightclub, and example, I walked into a nightclub called Kickers on.
Listen to this bullshit.
Metropolitan Avenue back in the 80s. And we warned the bouncers that from now on, you guys are going to be unionized. There is no more going to work without going through us. If you go to work on Friday, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get shot. And I guess, on their behalf, people talk, so they didn't take it serious, I guess. They don't understand the mob world. They didn't understand me. They didn't know me the way I know me, obviously.
They didn't know me, the way I knew me. So I'm going to show them how I know me, and I'm going to show them who I really am. So listen to this Rambo type story he tells. It's pretty funny. It really is. Like, get your fucking popcorn, everybody, because this one is a doozy.
They didn't think that they just thought I was just another gangster, I guess, talking and giving an order. And they believed that their guy would protect them. And I warned the guy, when I shoot you, when I hurt you, if you come to work, it doesn't matter what your guy says. You're already shot, you're already hurt, you're already killed. Don't go to work.
You're killed.
So I get a phone call. And,
you're killed. Don't go to work. Oh, I'm killed. I don't know if I should go to work today. I'm killed. What the fuck is this guy talking about, man? I think he needs medication like ASAP, because he's about to tell a Rambo story where he goes into a nightclub and shoots everybody or sits down and orders a drink. Now listen to this. I did some research, right? And the only 2 shootings that happened in clubs back then, one of them, a couple girls were shot in a club. Another one, some teenagers were shot in a club. There is no story in the newspaper where a bunch of bouncers got shot. So listen to this story he tells. It's wild.
I'm sleeping and I hear they're all at work. It's Friday night. The music's pumping. Everybody's drinking. And I call my buddy and I said to him, come pick me up. He said, what are you going to do? I said, don't worry, just come pick me up. He picks me up. It's midnight. about that. We get in the car. I load up a couple of guns. I got 2 guns. I used to like to.
All right, so listen to what he says. How he says he doesn't like automatics, but he has an automatic on his fucking head. It's just wild. Listen to his story close.
Take a revolver always. I didn't like automatics because an automatic jammed on me once before. So I always had that belief that the automatic, there could be a problem. Make sure you carry 2 guns. I actually carried 3.
No, I didn't carry 2. I carried 3, actually. You know, I carried 3.
I would carry an automatic. So
he just said, don't carry an automatic because it'll jam. And then he goes, I carried an automatic. So put this story together.
I didn't like automatics because an automatic jammed on me once before. So I always had that belief that the automatic, there could be a problem. Make sure you carry 2 guns. I actually carried 3. I would carry an automatic, so I had the extra shots. I'd carry a revolver.
He just said, don't carry an automatic. Oh, wait, I would carry 3 guns. I had an automatic. But he just said, don't carry an automatic, right? So listen again.
About that. We get in the car. I load up a couple of guns. I got 2 guns.
Hey,
I used to
Pez,
like
what's
to take
up?
a revolver always. I didn't like automatics because an automatic jammed on me once before. So I always had that belief that the automatic, there could be a problem. Make sure you carry 2 guns.
All right, so the automatic could be a problem. Make sure you carry 2 guns.
I actually carried 3.
Oh, but he carried 3.
I would carry an automatic.
He would carry an automatic, the kind that he doesn't like to carry because they jam, right? He just got done saying that, but then he says he carried an automatic. Now listen to this wild story.
So I had the extra shots. I'd carry a revolver and I would carry a 2-shot Derringer in a jock strap in case I
up his ass, right next to the knife that was up his ass.
Run out of anything. I have something left that people don't know I have on me. And we get in the car, we pull up. I tell him to circle the block. There's a gas station around the corner from Kickers.
Hey, Pez Tattoos, what's up, man? Make sure you guys go check out Pez Tattoos. What's up, Bruno? How are you? Paul, Mustang Mike, we got almost 50 people in here. Burn Till I Die. What's going on? Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. I really appreciate it. We got a lot of great things on the way. I got a huge announcement this weekend. Roy, how are you?
And the club changed names several times. They had a couple different names, but the same owners and the people, and they were around gangsters also. They were mobsters.
All right, so the club was mobbed up, but they needed you to go in there and enforce some shit, but the club was already involved with gangsters, so why would you need to even be involved? Just curious. Just a simple question that will destroy your whole story.
I pull up. I tell him, just stay in the parking lot. And he's a big guy, tough guy, Irish guy. And he says to me, no, I'm going to come with you. I said, I don't need you. So when we pull up to the bar, one of the head managers is there. And as soon as I see him, I says, come here. And he goes, John, he's trying to talk. And my guy, without asking me, went to swing at him. But when he went to swing at him, I already shot him in the stomach.
Yeah, sure he did. Yeah, he went to swing at him, but I already shot him. Don't worry, I already shot him. You don't need to swing at him. I already shot him. Now listen to this crazy shit.
And so he looks at me with like a half smile. He goes, oh, I thought I had him with a right hand. And, you know, people don't understand there's a dry sense of humor what we do because we do it all the time. This is not something that we do.
Here's Johnny.
Do once in a while. In my case, I did it on a regular basis. After I shot him, one of the bouncers came out to react to the shooting, not realizing he's going to get shot. And him, I just hip shot. I believe I shot him in the right or left. It doesn't matter. I hit him in one of his sides of his hip, and then when he went down, I shot him in the leg.
It doesn't matter. I'm lying anyway. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, it doesn't matter whether left or right. It doesn't matter. So I just shot him in the hip. He fell down. Then I shot him in the leg. Yeah, did you hit any major arteries there, John? So you got two guys on the ground shot, right? And now what happens next, John?
And then I continued, and I went inside the bar, and I found two other guys that I warned not to come in. One was some sort of manager, and he went to hit me, and my guy went to hit him, and then I shot him. And after I finished with him, I looked for one of the owners who went up the back and jumped out a side window, and then I caught the fourth guy.
So he shot 4 people. Listen to what he does next. Because this guy, Rambo-esque, right? He's in the club shooting 4 people. What happens next, John?
By the back door, and I shot him.
That's 5. So he shot 5 people already.
I think he got shot up in the chest area somewhere, and then when he went down, I shot him again.
He shot him again. That wasn't good. Shooting him in the chest wasn't good enough, so he had to shoot him again.
So I shot the 4 guys, and my guy started to run out the door. And I said,
no, that was 5 guys there, John.
Whoa, where you going?
So now his guys tried to run out the door, but he said he was only with one other guy. So what do you mean, your guys? Now he's saying he was with more than one guy. So that doesn't make sense. Your story's not checking out, John. Watch what he says.
The whole club, you can imagine, is in disarray. Everybody's running out. Everybody's screaming. The lights come on. The DJ music stops. And I put the gun and I pointed at one of the bartenders. I said, don't go nowhere. And I said, make me a drink.
Make me a drink. You make me a drink. I just shot 4 of your people. Make me a drink.
At that time, I was drinking vodka and cranberry. Now I switch it up to martinis, but...
I want vodka and cranberry, all right?
At that time, it was vodka and cranberry.
And you better make it good.
And he looked at me like I was insane. And I said, relax. I said, this has nothing to do with you. I ain't gonna shoot you. Get me the drink. And I told my friend, sit down. So he's looking at me. He didn't understand. He goes, John, we're going to get pinched. Let's go. I go, relax. Sit down. I says, I got to make a statement here. And I wanted them to know that I came there and I'm not worried about anybody, not even law enforcement.
Not even law enforcement. He's not even worried about the cops. Dun, dun, dun. John A. Light. This guy's on a fucking mission.
And I had that drink, and I says, okay. And I didn't.
He had that drink. You know, there's sirens coming. He don't give a fuck. He just sitting down. He's having his drink.
I didn't gulp it. I sipped it. I stayed.
I sipped it. I stayed.
We walked out the door. I put the gun back under my shirt.
Listen to how he gets away. How slick this guy is. It's pretty revealing.
And as we come there, the police are all pulling up. And you got probably 10 police cars there, ambulance, fire engines, EMS, everybody's there. And as we're walking out, we just point inside, like the shooters are still inside. Nobody did nothing to us. We went around the corner, we got in our car, and we went back to our social club.
All right, so the cops walk right by this guy. They just pointed at the club, and he has the gun on him. Oh, wait, he has 3 guns on him, right? 3. And cops just walk right by him. Ambulance, all that. Nobody in the club said, those are the fucking guys that shot me. No? Wow.
Tell a joke. Tell a joke.
Wow. Look at that form.
Do another joke.
I'd hate to be that bad.
Do another one to make me laugh.
Hey, if you guys believe his story, you guys need medication too. So if you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. New video dropping at Patreon today. You guys are really going to like this one. It's something different that can't go on YouTube. So we're taking things to another level. I got some new interviews dropping tonight. That bag don't punch back. You're damn right. He should have shot it with one of his 3 guns. He's shooting the boxing bag. Make sure you check out Patreon. Some really good content on the way. I appreciate all you guys checking out this show. Shout out to Sonny. Keep Sonny in your prayers. I got love for all you guys. If you guys want to donate to the show, you can donate through Cash App at Chattin with Staxx. Every donation goes right back into the show. I got a lot of things in the works right now. And I'm just grateful to have you all be a part of what I got going on. I appreciate you. Bruno, Maureen, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Vegas Pete. We got a lot of people in the house. Hit that like button, too. Share the video. Don't forget, check out the Patreon. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. I'll see you guys later. And remember, don't be a Johnny Rambo A-Light.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.